Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Coyotes Curling Club out here in Tempe, Arizona. Sunny Tempe, Arizona today. We are bringing you live curling coverage of the first draw of our spring training Bonspiel starting tonight. Apologize for a little bit delay in the start. Had to get everything worked out technically. That was my fault. My apologies. But we are joining the first end on Sheet A between the big hitters and the Prairie girls. They are into skip stones. Looks like each rink has a stone left to go. Yellow holding the hammer, the Prairie girls. We'll get you the names of those teams. We're going to stick on this sheet for one end, or for another end after this one. And those of you out there familiar with how we tend to do things, 4 sheets in the club, of course. We will stick with one end on each sheet just about as we go through, introduce the teams, get you guys all familiar with everybody, and then as we move around, games get closer, games get deeper. We'll stick with certain games on certain sheets. And for those of you out there watching the out-of-town teams, we appreciate you joining us, and let me know what I can do. I will do the best that I can to make sure you see as much of your game as you'd like. Again, as I said, we're starting on Sheet A. This is the big hitters and the Prairie girls. Introduce the teams for you. The big hitters are a Coyotes team, a local team, skipped by Hal McGrady. You see him throwing the red rocks. And his vice skip for the tournament is going to be Dwayne Herberg. Second is Lewis McConey, and lead is Ian Coulter. So we'll see them all throw rocks as we get into the second end, as I mentioned. And their opponents tonight are the Prairie girls. They are out of Fort Saskatchewan Golf and Country Club in Alberta. Coming to us from Canada, so we appreciate them coming out. They are skipped by Val Hanson-Wilson. Carol Rideout will be their vice. Judy Sangster is throwing second stones, and their lead is Renee Helland. So we'll see all of them throw as well. It looks like we just have one more red stone in the end, and then we will have Val's hammerstone, unless I'm counting wrong, and it appears I may be. So my apologies there. This will be the final stone of the end, and you can see so far the big hitters, a red stone, sitting one in the back 12-foot. So probably just trying to curl one more in. Anywhere in the house is going to get points here, get a 2 points anyway. So we'll see how this one plays out. So final stone is away here in the first end for the big hitters. Hal's going to the wall to look at the line. Coming down, asking for it to slow. Needs to slow down a little bit. And not going to be enough to hold on to the rings. It's going to fly through the house, and it looks like one red for the first end. So as they clean up the rocks, we'll add the score. We're going to go to N2 here, of course, and we'll turn you around. Like I said, we'll stay one more end on this sheet. And then as we move forward, we'll get over to Sheet B as well, and all the other sheets as we move along. So you see the first stone for the big hitters. They're a little bit deeper than they wanted, I imagine, in the back 12-foot. As we mentioned, that's Ian Coulter throwing the lead stones for the big hitters. And Renee Highland, as we mentioned, for the Prairie girls, is the lead. You see her first stone just coming down short of the rings. Going to be a nice corner guard there. So second redstone also comes into the house. It looks like the Prairie girls for now are going to ignore that one as well, calling another corner guard on the other side. So setting up their end with little regard at this point for what the big hitters are doing. But you see that stone just into the 8 foot does cover up the back stone. Becomes shot rock, of course, for the time being. But we'll see what the Prairie girls and Val have in mind here. So maybe a little heavier than she wanted. Looks like the stone that was going to go behind the guard. That's full 8 foot on the tee line. Hal's calling for a takeout on it, of course. But it is shot rock, so good shot for now. We'll see how this one goes. This is the first stone of the end for the big hitters. Second, Lewis McConey, Coyotes Curling Club member. Looks like a good line. Lewis gets a nice takeout and does stick around with the shooter, just biting the 8 foot there on the wing. Right now, red sitting 3 after 3 stones for them, 2 for the yellow. And we'll see here the first rock for the Prairie girls, second of the second end. That, as we mentioned, is Judy Sangster. She is out of the hack, and the rock's away. Didn't see the call on that one, but it looks like Val wanted the takeout that did take place there. Pretty good weight on that stone, and loses the shot rock, the second red rock in the 8 foot, and the shooter goes out as well. And Hal's just going to call a guard here up at the front of the house. So that one's going to travel all the way down to the tee line and sit right on the button there, right on the pin from Lewis. So a little deeper, I think, than Hal wanted, and is going to try to take that one out. Of course, becomes the shot rock for the time being. And a really nice shot there on the Yellowstone from the Prairie girls. Judy Sangster, the second there. Her second stone of the end comes through, takes the rock off the button. Does get a takeout as well on the rock in the back 12. So a nice double takeout, and yellow sitting 1. You see Hal McGrady step in and immediately call the takeout on the yellow rock. Wants to roll behind cover if he can. This, of course, is Dwayne Herberg, the vice of the big hitters. We talked about him earlier. This is the first rock. We get to see from him his first rock of end number 2. And he's just a little bit wide on the line, going to flash through the house, misses that shot rock, and is going to give Val a chance to get out there. Yep, she looks like she's calling the guard. Wants it on the center line, wants to cover up that shot rock in the 4-foot. So shot's a little heavy, going to touch that shot rock. A little bit longer than the guard they were looking for. Gives the big hitters a chance at a double takeout here. I think that's what they're looking for. But for the time being, Prairie Girls sitting two with that little touch. 2 rocks in the 4-foot and looking okay so far. So Dwayne's on the nose that time, gets that higher yellow rock, does slide by the second yellow rock, so they're hoping for the double. Just replaces that one just outside the 4-foot. Yellow is still the shot rock. Looks like there is pretty good look at it though, so they're going to try to guard it up here, I believe. So just looking for it to finish up. This one again is a little heavy, but going to get a push on the red rock. And let's see if Val can take it all the way to the edge of the 12-foot. It looks like we're pretty close for second shot here. Yellow, of course, on the button, on the edge of the button. Still ahead, but looks pretty close for number 2. And we are moving into our first skip stone of the end. So it's getting pretty close to finish time for this one. So you see Hal now making his way down to the hack. Going to be the first skip stone of the end. Of course, the big hitters picked up 1 in the first end. You saw that. So Prairie Girls and Val are holding the hammer. And Hal's out of the hack with his 9-step stick delivery. I was able to play Hal last week. He told me he delivered one, I think the only shot he missed in the game he played against me. Looked back at me and said, I only took 7 steps, so I knew that one was off. And you can see from the result there, he probably got all of them in, because he does get a hit on that yellow rock at the front of the 8-foot, replaces it with the red one and slides a little over. Yellow shot rock uncovered. Yellow sitting 1, 2, 3, and 4 though belong to the big hitters. So you see now Val is in the hack. She's ready to deliver her first stone of the second end. It's away and coming down the ice. So it looks like they're trying that guard again, and it's just a little bit heavy. I know the ice out here is pretty keen, can be pretty fast. So for the out-of-town club's early ends here, just a little bit heavy on their rocks coming in, and will hit the shot rock, split off, puts the shot rock, well, second shot rock now, but moves that rock off the button and behind a little bit of cover. Yellow sitting 2, and just one more shot for Hal McGrady and the big hitters. Talking things over with Dwayne, his vice, looks like they're going to try to just put one in front of that shot rock, leave them in a position to maybe steal a point here, but at least hold them to 1 if they can curl in and leave the yellow rock closer to the button. As I'm sure you're all aware, you probably saw our baseball themed picture, and of course spring training is a baseball themed event. We're lucky enough out here in Arizona to have half the major league teams come out for spring training each and every year. So that Bonspiel theme is in honor of them. You can see Dwayne standing in the house there in his old baseball, softball uniform. I'm not sure which, but wearing the high socks and the pinstripe pants. We do appreciate that. Dwayne, thanks for bringing that out, and you'll see some more jerseys on the other sheets as we move along as well. So you see Hal's final shot comes in, and he does get a hit on the shot stone. Is going to leave his red rock there. Sitting shot right now in the 4-foot, but it is open. So if Val can shoot that through, she's got a good shot at 2 here. Alright, so you see final shot is away. Val's after that shot rock. Try to hit and leave herself 2. And after this stone, as I mentioned before, we'll get over to sheet B, check in on things there. So she gets a good hit on the inside of the stone there and is going to push it just far enough to leave her sitting 2 stones. Very nice shot from the Prairie girls, Skip, Val, Hanson, Wilson there, and they are going to take a 2-1 lead to the third end. Give the hammer back. We're going to move you over to sheet B. We want to take a look at that game in progress. N2 into Skip stones. So we'll stick with you through the conclusion of this end, take a guess at the score, and get you a full look at a full end here as we move ahead. So this game, as you can see, is being contested by Team Iron Fox, throwing the yellow stones. They are out of the Hollywood Curling Club in Hollywood, California. You see the skip is Casey Fox, vice John Neal. Second, Tim Mendoza, and Ken Dethloff is throwing the lead stones for Team Iron Fox. And you see Casey is approaching the hack to throw the final stone of our second end here on sheet B. We'll get you guys an accurate score just as soon as is possible as well. So you can see in this end red, the Bad News Bairds, one of our best baseball themed names, was sitting 2 as that shot was released. It looks like that's going to replace it as second shot, but red's going to get a steal here. Bad News Bairds will take 1 out of the second end. May have scored in the first end. As you can see, they were not throwing the last stone. We'll get you that score just as soon as we can. But for now, we'll put 1 on the board for red. So while we collect the stones, get ready to throw for end number 3, let's introduce to you the Bad News Bairds, as I mentioned, one of the best baseball names that we have here today. They are a local Coyotes team as well. Skipped by Jeff Baird. You see him in the baseball jersey. Looks like they're all wearing baseball jerseys. You see him there in the hack. He is joined by Tracy Drummond, Tom Danielson throwing second stones, and Sean Keeling is the lead for them this weekend. And I think that order may have been changed. As you can see, that wasn't Tracy out there sweeping. We had Tracy listed as the vice. Looks like she's actually throwing lead stones. All the same people as I mentioned, but I think Tom Danielson is the vice for us tonight. Tracy throwing lead, and Sean Keeling is probably going to throw the second stones, I'd have to guess. All wearing baseball jerseys, so very festive. Appreciate that. None as good as Jeff's, of course. You see him down there in the hack wearing a Red Sox Ted Williams jersey. Everybody loves the Red Sox unless they're wrong. So we appreciate Jeff bringing out the Teddy Ballgame jersey today. And you do see there that first yellow stone came down. Tracy threw a nice guard right on the center line with her first red stone of the end. And yellow hit it, did knock it out of play. So those of you out there familiar with the free guard zone, you saw Jeff go out there and replace his rock. The yellow rock is taken out of play. Can't hit those guards if they're shy of the house until after the fourth stone of the end is thrown. So if you do take one out, you lose your stone. Put theirs back. And the second red stone is on the way, looking to curl behind that center guard they just replaced. And it looks like it's going to be pretty nice. Just a little past the tee line, but still on the back button and behind a lot of cover. So Iron Fox will try to counter now their second stone of the end, the fourth stone. Of course, after this one, the gloves come off. You can hit all the stones in play. This one's going to be a little wider. This one's going to go through, so that one will be taken out as well as it slides past the back line. Man, Jeff, without the last stone of the end here, just trying to guard up that shot rock, build a wall of granite, make a bit of a mess here, protect his shot stone in a really good position there on the button. So this is Sean's first stone on the way. Jeff puts the hand up, says don't sweep this. Just a little bit heavy. Right to the top of the 4-foot, and everything Red's throwing seems to be sticking to the center line. Gets over there, and that one's going to be behind that high guard as well, or that center guard. So just a note, I notice out there on sheet B, throwing the second stones for Irons Fox tonight, is local Coyote member Lindsay Estabrooks. Looks like he's filling in, I'd assume, for Tim Mendoza on Iron Fox second stones. Correct me if I'm wrong out there on who's being replaced, but Lindsay is throwing tonight for Iron Fox. So make a note of that in your scorebook. And as you see there, Sean's second stone, attempting that guard again. He was a little heavy last time, got to the top of the 4, so pulled a little too much back. Doesn't get it across the far hog line. That stone's being taken out of play. And we still sit with Red having 2 behind that center guard. And here's Lindsay's second stone of the end for Iron Fox and the Yellow Rocks. And just looking to gain access, peels that guard, so uncovers the red rocks. And Jeff immediately goes out there and calls to replace it. So you saw Jeff calling for almost no sweeping on that one. You see it is just a little bit heavy, or a little longer than he wanted anyway. Does cover up the 2 in the house, just bites the 12-foot. And Iron Fox looking for a multiple takeout here. Just want to let Tom know how much we appreciate the fact that he is playing Iron Fox and Skip Casey Fox tonight while wearing a Diamondbacks throwback jersey bearing the name Fox. So thanks for the confusion, Tom. We'll try to keep things straight as that rock does flash the house, and you see Jeff going out and calling for a high center guard. We'll see, as we recall from earlier in the end, when Sean tried to take a little off his guard weight, did hog the rock, so we'll see what Tom's able to do with this one. So just stealing from the scoreboard there, as you guys probably see there at home, we do have, it looks like we got 2 in the first end for the Bad News Bairds. So we've added that to the scoreboard. Looks like we have an unofficial score of 3-0 here in the third end. Red Rocks still laying 2 in the house. Jeff's going down to throw his first rocks at the end. He wants a center guard. So you see Jeff's first rock sticks to the center line, just like all the red rocks seem to have this end, but again a little bit deep. So we'll see if they're throwing it deep and then hogging the rock continues for red. But Casey's calling an immediate take out of that highest red stone. After we get through this end, of course, we'll move over to sheet C. Almost said sheet number C. Of course, C isn't a number. But we'll move over there and take a look at the action over there. We'll steal the score so that we have that accurate as we move over there. So once we get over there, we'll let you know. So you see the final red rock of the end is away. Tom's hand is up saying don't sweep it. It looks like it might be a little heavy again. Again looking for that center guard that has eluded them for the last few. And that one looks like it's going to be good. So very nice shot there to finish the end for Jeff Baird. He's getting fist bumps. Could be for his Ted Williams jersey. That would make sense. But probably for that good shot he just threw. And now Casey Fox is going to try to finish this end by getting one in and giving himself a chance to at least take one away. A steal of 2 here would be pretty tough to return from early on in this game as he faces a 3-0 deficit. So here's the final shot of the third end before they come back. No brooms on there, just looking to draw to that shot on the back of the button and sit for one, and not going to do it. Does not get over far enough. A steal of 2. So back-to-back steals for the Bad News Bairds. They move ahead to 5-0 as we go to the fourth end. We're going to move you over to sheet C so we can get a look at that game. Let me just turn you around here. And as we cast it over and you guys get a look at the scoreboard, you see in the fourth end, we have a score of 6-0 in favor of the Yellow Rocks. You may recognize the name, curling aficionados out there. Team Ferby, that is Randy Ferby. Pleasure to have him here at the Coyotes Curling Club with us. Of course, 6-time Brier champion, 4-time world champion in the house. And he is currently leading 6-0. The rest of his rink made up by Wendy Ferby, his vice. Réal Michaud is his second, and Claudette Michaud is his lead. Again, they lead 6-0. You can see they're sitting one here in the house with a few guards in the middle. Please hammer, don't hurt 'em. Fantastic name, I have to say. They are coming to us out of San Francisco, I believe. San Francisco Bay Area Curling Club, yes indeed. They are skipped by Jim Muyo. Vice is Paul Zaka. Megan Richards throws the second stones. Heather Kopek is throwing the lead stones for them, as far as I know from the pamphlet. If I mispronounced any names, particularly the French ones, my apologies. Doing the best I can. Let me know as we move along. If I am wrong, we'll get those corrected for you. So it looks like we're into the second half of the fourth end here. Wendy Ferby with her first rock on the way. Still yellow, sitting one. That last red rock through, well, not through the house, but got a little deeper into the back of the 12-foot. And right now, second shot in the house. And yellow still with one. Looks like this was a guard call. Maybe not, as it's coming into the rings. Covers up the shot rock, just does bite the 8-foot. Plenty for second shot. So yellow rocks and Team Ferby now sitting 2. And you see Jim in the house. He brought out his Major League Baseball gear for the spring training Bonspiel. Appreciate his representation of the Oakland Athletics. As we mentioned, San Francisco Bay Area Curling Club. So if you had to pick a team from the Bay Area, Oakland's the right choice, Jim. I appreciate that. I appreciate you wearing that out here. And of course, Oakland trains out here in Arizona. You can see them this weekend and all month out in Mesa at the Hohokam Field. So get out and see them. Hopefully, Jim, while you're here, you get a chance to take in a game as well. So second stone from Wendy Ferby, vice for Team Ferby, is away. Apologies out there, you guys may have just noticed I updated the scoreboard there. Had a misspelling. Pretty embarrassing misspelling on the Ferby name, so maybe you didn't recognize that name immediately. My apologies to Jim and Wendy, or Randy and Wendy. We've got that updated for you now. So a really high guard there for the Please Hammer, Don't Hurt 'Em rink. Probably a good play right now, covering up the path to what is the shot rock on the back 8 foot for Please Hammer, Don't Hurt 'Em. They will throw the last rock, the hammer in this end. And right now, sitting 1. Randy Ferby down in the hack for his first shot of the end. Looks like he's going to try to come in from the other side. So goes to one of his guards and gets a really nice raise to the back 8 foot, just sitting ahead of that red rock. Can't really do much with that yellow one that just got raised back there. It is behind cover. It's in front of a red one with another yellow one backing it. So right now, Randy Ferby and his team sitting 1 with 3 rocks left to play. Okay, so we're back with you here for the final rock of this 4th end. Jim Muyo about to deliver his final stone. Still that yellow one that was raised back there is the shot rock. Looks like they have a draw path to it, trying to get there. Just drawn in with a little backing, trying to get one here and get on the board. And it's going to be a little bit wide of the target. Looks like a steal of one. Steal of one for Team Ferby and the Yellowstones. So turn around for end number 5. Stick with you here for one more end. Actually, let's get you over to sheet D for an end over there, so you get to see those teams. We'll introduce you to them and come back to sheet C here in just a minute. So you see this is the 5th end. From the scoreboard on the wall there, we can see Mavericks throwing the Red Rocks with a 6-0 lead over Pound the Rock. Maybe a football reference on that one. At the spring training Bonspiel, we appreciate all sports out here. Of course, out here in Phoenix, we're blessed with all of the major sports. So, Team Pound the Rock throwing the Yellowstones. We have from the San Francisco Bay Area Curling Club representing strong out here this week. 5 teams, from that club are out here. Pound the Rock is Zevi Atlas. Apologies if I'm mispronouncing names. Please correct me when you see me outside. He is the skip. Jay Diamond is the vice. Jenny Lynn throwing second stones, and TC Atlas leading the team. For the Mavericks, throwing the Red Rocks with the 6-point lead right now. They are a Coyotes team, local team. So getting a lot of the local teams in the early draw. A little easier for us to get here at 6 o'clock on a Thursday night. They are Ron Wiebold. He is the skip. Les Colligan is the vice. Don Stevens is throwing second stones, and Georgina Williamson leading that team. So you see we're moving through this, and we're a little over halfway through, just 6 rocks to play. Pretty clean. There's some granite up front, but just 1 rock in the house right now. Out there on the wing, a Red Rocks hanging around, just at the tee line, just biting a 12-foot, looks like. We'll see if that comes into play as this end develops. So we've been shouting out, certainly as we've gone along, all of the attire here this week. A lot of people out in baseball jerseys. Dwayne, thank you for the full baseball uniform with the high socks. Only way to wear it, really. You see the Pound the Rock team is wearing some hockey apparel. You see Zevi there with her San Jose Sharks jersey. Appreciate too what I see as a Zubaz skirt. Jenny in Buffalo Bills colors. If I'm wrong, correct me. But appreciate you guys bringing it here on the ice and looking the part of curlers here in the Bonspiel as well. So in this 5th end, we have our first skip stone coming on the way for Pound the Rock. think we're in skipstones. Could be wrong. But coming down looking at a house that has 2 red rocks in the 12-foot, otherwise clean. And looks like they're drawn down to that shot rock. Looking for a freeze, but just gonna slide to the side of it. I think they were looking for a freeze. Not really sure who's shot here, given the overhead angle. I'm gonna guess it's red. I could be wrong. But we'll see if that's changed as we go along here. So you see that last yellow stone from Pound the Rock comes in, does knock out that red shot rock, sits in the back 12-foot, is the shot rock. Looks like final stone to the Mavericks, so we may not have an updated score here. I think Pound the Rock may have gotten some point. We're probably off. Looks like they scored in the last end. We'll get that update once they hang it on the board. But this rock's coming in. Good shot at 2 here for the Mavericks. I'm just going to try to get that yellow one out, and Ron's going to try to leave the shooter in there and get himself a couple more points. So it does need to curl over a little bit and is going to get just a touch on the yellow rock, but it's not enough to move it out. It's going to be a steal of 1 for the yellow rocks and Pound the Rock. Okay, so as we look at the board, we see N4 hung up there as 1. N5 is also going to be 1. We'll update that score for you. Turn it around. We're coming back for N number 6. For the time being, we're going to move back over to sheet C. Check in over there and see how things are going. So wrong hack camera, my apologies. We'll just watch the conclusion of the 5th end here. I know Please Hammer, Don't Hurt 'em, trying to get on the board. They may be in the lead in the name competition, as I mentioned earlier. Too Legit to Quit certainly is running through my head. Now I know that wasn't on the Please Hammer, Don't Hurt 'em album. Don't inundate me with comments. But that's the song I go to with Hammer. Sorry. But you see that red rock there just going to flash through the house. So unfortunately we still have, well, unfortunately for them, we still have a yellow shot rock. Team Ferby has scored in each end, so they are not throwing the last rock. Please Hammer, Don't Hurt 'em holds the hammer, ironically enough. And we are moving into skip stones. This will be Randy Ferby's first rock of the fifth end. So you see Randy's rock come down, just get about to the center line, which is where his shot rock lays in the 4 foot. Right in front of it, lots of cover. Looks like Please Hammer, Don't Hurt 'em maybe after a run back here with Jim's first stone of the end. Try to get in there, get back to the shot rock, maybe at least give himself a chance to get in there with his final stone. So you see it coming out of the hack there with pretty good weight on this shot. Looks like he's got the line, a really nice double there. Not only does he run back the guard, but Jim's able to get a hit on the shot rock and slides that out of the house as well. So things turn in this end pretty quickly. That yellow rock is out. Red now sitting shot rock in the back 12 foot, just one in the house, and it's covered up. Shot of the night so far, I think, there from Jim Muyo. Really nice shot. Nice shot, Jim. Good work. Go A's. So Randy comes back with his last shot of the end, just trying to draw in. Think he got it just far enough. He's going to sit shot rock almost to the 8 foot. But this is going to be probably a hit and stick for 2 for Jim, and Please Hammer, Don't Hurt 'em. Looks like he's going to run back that red guard. Looks like he is going to move, try to hit again and come back. Doesn't think he sees enough of the rock to curl in and get a hit. Great run back on his last rock. We'll see how this one finishes up for him. But chance to hang 2 here in this 5th end. So you see the run back, you see the hit, and the red one spills out. does leave one red in the house. So Please Hammer Don't Hurt Him is going to score in the fifth end. That'll move us to 7-1. And a red rock goes into the hack. Let's move you now over to Sheet B. We have that battle between Iron Fox and the Bad News Bairds. They're in the fifth end as well. We'll slide over, see if we can steal a score off the board. And let's get you full screen to that one. So we see Iron Fox picked up one in the fourth end. So Jeff Baird and his rink are throwing the last stone in this fifth end. Lots of granite at the front of the house. And right now it looks like a yellow shot rock just off Jeff's right foot. Second stone of the fifth end for the Bad News Bairds. Vice skip Tom Danielson on the way. So calling to hit some of those rocks. Pushes the shot rock back a little bit, but it's still going to be the shot rock. 2 and 3 for red, but yellow behind that corner guard still sits number 1. And skip stones now for Casey Fox. So first shot from Casey Fox going to hit that corner yellow guard that was out in front of the shot rock. May give Jeff a look at that yellow rock. Yep, he's gonna take a shot at it. Asking Tom to put his broom out there. Gonna try to hit that shot rock, move it out. Would put him in position here to sit 3, I think. And has the hammer here in the fifth end. So you see away from Tom there managing the house. He's going to squat. Not a lot of broom on there. And not the ideal outcome for the Bad News Bairds. Not the outcome they would have wanted. Does get a hit on the yellow shot rock, but moves it into the 8-foot behind more cover. Takes out that red rock that was sitting second shot, and also the shooter spills. So not ideal. One yellow rock on the board right now Tom and Jeff will talk it over. Jeff will have a chance to remedy the situation with the final stone of the end. He's got a good lead here in the fifth end, so has an opportunity to maybe take one and move ahead. So you see final yellow rock for Iron Fox. Casey Fox on the way. Looks like he might be trying to draw in. Doesn't quite get around the pile. Does get onto the rings. Looks like yellow sitting 1, 3, 4, and 5 with a few biters around the rings. Red one nestled in there for second shot. We'll see what Jeff and Tom decide to do here. Try to get a red rock into the house and in scoring position. So it looks like they've decided to try a draw shot here. Does have a port. Should be able to get into the button with a good draw. Jeff's got the draw weight. Generally, he's very good at this shot. So excellent opportunity to get one, get out of this end, and move forward with the game with a commanding lead. So you see the shot on the way. Sean and Tracy got the brushes down. It is going to wreck a guard. And not enough of a hit on that second red stone. Stones get cleaned up quickly, but I think that's because Iron Fox picked up one there. Bad news, Bairds will maintain the hammer. Move to the sixth end. Still have a 3-point lead by my count. And we're going to move you over to sheet A. I think that game is pretty close. I'm going to take you full overhead screens to them. Try to sneak a look at the far hack camera so we can get a scoreboard peek. And then get you over to the action. So you see some big ends there. I am taking the Prairie Girls right now for 7. Big end for the big hitters. Just a moment ago, you see them at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So a 7-5 score there. And this should be the sixth end on sheet A. So let's spin you around to the action hack. As you see the first Yellowstone coming in and through. Al's going to be able to sweep that through and out past the back line. So you see red with a center guard just off the center line. Big hitters, of course, with the 3-end or the 3-ender in the last end, throwing the first rock of this end. So center guard, pretty good start for them. So the second red rock's going to nestle into the 12-foot. I think they wanted that to finish a little bit more, bury behind the red guard, and you see Val jumps out and calls for a hit, as it is not covered. No brooms on that one, good weight, and gets the hit. Red rock is out, yellow rock's going to spill out to the wall, and we're back to square one. We'll keep an eye on the other sheets as we go forward here, but I think we'll stick mostly here with sheet A, as this seems to be the closest game out there on the sheet right now. As things change as we get toward the end, we'll move around a little bit. If you guys are out there and there's one you want to see, I have a couple cameras at my disposal, so I can move around a little bit. So it seems the speed has picked up maybe a little bit here in the 6th end on the A sheet. No yellow rocks in play currently. We've thrown 3. Just 2 red guards out there now. As you can see, all the yellow rocks back out of play. This is the 4th red rock. As we mentioned, the big hitters with 3 in the last end are throwing the first stones of this 5th end. 6th end, I'm sorry. And that one's going to go through as well. So a lot of speed out there right now. Ice is really keen, seems like. And looks like Val wants to use those guards. See if she can't draw one in behind them. See if we can't keep one on the sheet here. So we're just going to move the top camera over to sheet B. I want to keep a look at the game over there. Tightened up a little bit in the last end, as we saw, with yellow getting a steal. Still at 5-2, a 3-point lead for the Bad News Bairds in the sixth end. He'll have the hammer again. You can see on that top camera, sitting one. Looks like he's on the button with some guards out front. Looks like Jeff's calling for another guard. So keep your eyes peeled up there. Of course, on the overhead cameras, we are going to see the game on sheet A. The big hitters and the Prairie girls are still there. You see one red rock in the house, and looks like we may have pushed that guard back just enough to bite. We'll see if that comes into play as the end progresses. Not sure if that's in or not. Looks like yellow is gonna miss the hit, and the Prairie girls are gonna have another rock out of play. Through 5 stones so far. Just about everything through the house. 3 stones to go, but still not a lot going on there. So a good opportunity, maybe to score 1, maybe to at least keep things clean for the Prairie girls when Val gets in there to shoot. So second shots away on sheet A from the big hitters vice, Dwayne. Hal's going to go out and help brush that one. Given what we've seen this end, not sure how he throws middle guard weight, but nice throw from Dwayne. Red still sitting 1, maybe 2, and calling for a hit on the red rock that we know is in the house. You see Val's in the crouch. She must like it. Is just going to slide by, though, and flash through again. Leaving Hal and the big hitters, just wants to draw to the button. So again, the hit on the red shot rock goes awry for the Prairie girls. They're just on the just on the other side near the wall on that one. But again, miss and another miss and a flash through, and all 7 yellow rocks so far out of play. And you see Hal out of the hack there with what will be his final shot of the end. Final shot for the big hitters. Right now, sitting 1, maybe 3, maybe just 2. Dwayne managing the house down there for him. He's in the squat position. Must like it. Looks like it's coming in nicely. And going to stop in the 12-foot there. So 1 rock left for Val and the Prairie girls. See what she wants to do. That might be deep enough that she can hit it, stick, and still be inside of that red rock for 1. And I think that's what they're after. Maybe hit them both just to be sure. But that last rock from Hal, probably a little deeper than he wanted. It is the shot rock, but open to be hit. Could turn the end around. Of course, we've seen some misses this end from the Prairie girls, but 1 good shot here from Val, and they'll put a point on the board and draw a little bit closer. So needed to curl a little bit and doesn't. Right through. Red's going to count him up. Again, unfortunately, I can't hear what's going on the ice. At least 2. Maybe 4. When they hang it on the board at the other end, we'll let you know. And then see where we go from there. You see Dwayne's moving to the scoreboard, so I'm going to just slide. Well, after this end, we'll swing over to the A scoreboard. Got some shots there on the top camera over on sheet B, but we'll take a look at that, see what the score was for the big hitters. Like we said, it's at the very least a tie game, possibly 8, possibly 9-7. So turning around and coming back. First shot is out high, center guard for, well, not out high, tight to the house, but a tight center guard for the big hitters. Looks like the Prairie girls are going to try to play to the corner a little bit. They throw a guard of their own, about the same level. So over on A, you saw me take a peek there at the scoreboard. Looks like the big hitters took 3. So anywhere from 2, 3, or 4. So I wasn't wrong. But 3 is the number they're hanging up there. Big hitters take an 8-7 lead. And we are into the 7th end. Prairie girls and Val will hold the last stone again. Keep an eye on sheet B as well. All right, so back with you. Just a quick update. You may notice from the overhead camera, sheet C is quiet. No more action on sheets C and D, they've called it. So we'll keep you on A and B here as we close. Our tightest game, of course, is on sheet A, 8-7 in favor of the big hitters. Big hitters right now sitting 1. With 1 rock. They're a little bit behind, a little open, but has a little bit of cover, maybe half covered in the back of the 8-foot. Yellow rock in the 12-foot that Hal has called for a hit. Taking a peek at the sheet B scoreboard, we see it looks like the bad news Bairds in the 6th end added 2 to their total. So they move to a 7-2 lead. Pretty good spot to be in the 7th end, I'd say. Iron Fox, Casey Fox, and his rink will hold the last rock in this end. But that one is looking good for the Coyotes team, the bad news Bairds. Over on sheet A, you see nothing changed from the last red stone. Looks like they threw that one through. Back and out of play. Val's in a crouch in the house. She's coming out. Looks like she's going to sweep that yellow stone. They're going to raise it up and going to get it into the 8 foot. If I had to guess, I'd say Reds is still the shot rock, but I've been wrong before and will be again. So we'll see where we are there. Hal's calling the same hit on that yellow rock outside in the 12 foot. And Dwayne's first shot is away. So you see there on sheet 8, Dwayne just getting ready to throw his second rock of the 7th, then took a step out of the hack, gathered himself again. No reason to have both rocks going on on side-by-side sheets at the same time, so Dwayne took a minute, reset himself, threw his rock, and he's coming down now past the far hog line. Looks like it's going to get breaks there, and it's going to be a high guard of what's going on in the house right now. Again, I think red is the shot rock, if I had to guess. So we'll see what Val decides to do with that now as we approach the, well, this will be the last shot for her vice, Carol, before we get into the skip stones. Over on sheet B, you see we have a lot of guards out there. 2 red stones in the house for the Bad News Bairds. A little bit of cover on those red stones as well, so could be a crushing blow if Jeff and his team are able to hang one more point even on the board right now. Now you see that shot we mentioned from Carol coming through. Almost gets a hit on that yellow rock that we believe to be sitting second shot. Might have pushed it back in there. But for now, not a lot changed in the house. Red with the shot rock. I think yellow probably sitting 2 and maybe 3. We're close on that third shot with the red and the yellow, but with 4 rocks to go, lots of this end to play out. So. So Hal and Dwayne talking it over. Looks as though Hal's going to go back over to the side of the sheet. Over on the corner wants to get that yellow rock out. May give him an opportunity too to slide another red rock in behind all that cover out front and see if he can't put himself in position for two. Put some pressure on the Prairie Girls as this game gets on into its later stages. So you see Hal's shot just coming into view again. Curls a little too much past that yellow stone he was after. Gets through the house. And now Carol and Val talking things over. Looks like they want to do something with what we believe to be the shot rock, that red rock in the back of the house. Maybe just come down to it. Maybe give it a little bump. Leave them sitting two, if she's able to do that. So you see Val just out of the hack there. Looks like they are going to act on that shot rock in the back of the house. Carol gets down to keep an eye on that line. We got brushes on the stone. Carol's going to give it a hand, and it is going to hit a guard. That guard is not going to be enough. May have had a shot to move that one back into position to be shot, but just doesn't have enough juice on it. So still red, sitting one. 2 and 3 now to the Prairie Girls. So could be a change of fortune here as we close the end. Up top, we see red still sitting two. On sheet B, the bad news Bairds. Jeff going down to throw a rock. If you guys are counting, let me know. I'm not sure where we are, but certainly if Jeff's thrown, we're into skip stones. So we're close to a conclusion in that seventh end. Over on sheet A, you see the rock quarry up at the front of the house and just outside the house. This end, unlike last end, lots of yellow rocks in play. Unfortunately for the Prairie Girls, red rock is currently closest to the button. And Hal McGrady and his last stone of the end are away. So you see that stone come into view, and it's going to be short of the house, just in with those yellow guards. Looks like it's going to prevent too much action on the yellow rocks. Maybe still a run back, but should have a draw opportunity inside of that red stone to bring us to a tie game here. So talking about the run back, looks like they're talking about the draw. And I could be wrong here, but I think they're going to hit something. Won't take much to move that yellow rock inside of the red rock and at least get one. Possibly could run back and split those yellows at in the 12-foot. See if they can't get two. Definitely their best path to two would be that. You'd want to get at least two here as you go to the 8th end. Don't want to be tied, giving up the hammer. Want to be up, so we'll see if Val can pull one off here, split those rocks, and get to a lead. So it doesn't quite get there. They're talking about where they are. We'll see. Looks like... Well, we'll turn to the board and see when they hang it up, what they're going to put up there. Then we'll get you back to sheet B. So the score goes up. Looks like they decided that was a 3 for the Prairie girls. They're going to take a 10-8 lead into the 8th end, turning the hammer back over to the big hitters. But definitely a fortuitous end for them, as they are now ahead. So you should see on sheet B with having a decent lead at this point. Jeff's just calling shots through the house. Gonna try to keep it clean there, not give up a big end as he's got a big lead, and just go home with a win. With that, we're going to move you over full screen to sheet A. I know that one's pretty close, so let's get over to the action hack on that sheet. And keep a close eye on things as Hal McGrady and the big hitters try to close that 2-point gap and take this one home. So solid start to the end for the big hitters. Trying to score two, not a bad idea. That's for the corner guard. Sneak a rock behind it. Maybe not covered up completely, but you see the Prairie girls go for that guard. Clean that up. Hal's going to call for a rock on the other side. Split the house here. Give himself as many opportunities for two as he can find. So if you guys are checking the draws at home, just to go over, of course, sheets C and D, as we mentioned, had an early finish tonight. On sheet D, the Mavericks defeated Pound the Rock. On sheet C, we saw Randy Ferby and his team defeat Please Hammer, Don't Hurt 'em, out of the San Francisco Bay Area Curling Club. Here on sheet B, we are bringing to a close. I know we took the camera off of that one. Bad News Bairds has a big lead on Iron Fox. I will tell you, Iron Fox currently sitting one in the house with a couple of high guards. Gonna need a huge end to close that gap. And on sheet A, that's the one we're watching, full screen. Prairie girls hold a slim 10-8 lead on the big hitters. You see that red rock the big hitters had in the 8-foot is gone. Prairie girls able to take that out. Another one looks like it might just be short of the house. With one yellow rock in, this red rock's going to hit that yellow rock. And it does roll over, but it's not going to get behind cover. Just bites the 4 right on the center line and open for a hit. So you see the sweepers for the Prairie girls there imploring the rock to go over to hit that red shot rock. Not going to get there. Looks like Hal's going to call for a touch on his red shot rock. He wants to slide that one behind cover. Split the shooter rock over to the other side of the house. Split the house here. Again, needs to score 2. As you can see from the board, to draw even here. Love to score 3, of course. Close the book on this one. But Dwayne's first rock is away. Al's down at the back of the 4-foot. You guys may know from watching us in the past, our theory is anytime a skip squats in the house, they're probably pretty happy with the shot. That one looks like it's going to be a little bit light. Not going to get the hit and the split that Hal was looking for, but it does cover up the shot rock at the very least. Looks like Val's going to try to take it out. May have been quick motion with the broom there. She may be looking to run back into the shot rock too. We'll see how that goes. So there you go. You see that guard runs back, does hit the shot rock. Shot rock spills out of the house. The guard they ran back though does slide behind cover, so gives red the shot rock again. Full 8-foot. Going to be a tough rock to hit, and you see Hal looking for a shot on the other side of the house. So you see that the big hitter's rock just short of the house, a little bit light on that one. Uh, Not quite what they were after, but still a path to two here in this end. Of course, they'll throw the last rock, so as long as that red rock hangs out in the 8 foot, it looks like Val's after it at this point. But as long as that rock's there, they got a shot at two, and that's gonna clean that one out. That is a fantastic shot from Val late in this game. She's gonna get a double takeout of the red guard and the red shot rock that was resting in the 8 foot. No rocks in the house now, and just two red rocks to play. So just to keep you guys in the loop over on sheet B, Jeff Baird has just slid out to deliver his last stone. Iron Fox and the Yellow Rocks, they are sitting three right now. As it turns out, with Jeff's last stone, he takes out the shot rock, leaves his shot just biting the back of the button. Actually, now one red rock in play, one rock to go for Casey Fox. Looks like he could score three in this end. Last check, the score was 7-2. And I think Bad News Bairds picked up at least one, maybe two in the last end. So probably decided now, but Casey's going to throw his last rock, try to put a three on the board here. On sheet A, in what has become our featured game here, you see how McGrady's first stone is on the wing in the 12-foot. Red sits two here. They're not. They are down two, sitting two. Rocks are open, but could be worse positions. On sheet B, Casey's last rock was a really nice draw to the button. Left the red rock where it was. Looks like he was just testing his draw weight a little bit. Does pick up one, but they're shaken up, and the Bad News Bairds pick up a victory in their first game of the Bonspiel. So action has closed on sheet B. Just one sheet still going. Sheet A, you're seeing that one. One rock to be thrown. Final rock for Val Hansen Wilson. She is the skip of the Prairie Girls. My mistake. I'm sorry. This is her last rock, but Hal does have a rock after this. Right now, as we mentioned, red sitting two. Needs two to tie, of course. And looks like Val's going to try to hit the shot rock. See if she can hide her rock in a position where Hal can't get to it. So that rock's going to come through the house. Another missed hit, unfortunately, for the Prairie Girls, coming toward the warm room on this sheet. That's been in the sixth end and now again in the eighth end. That's gotten them. A few missed hits. And last rock, red rock, Al McGrady is drawing, by my count, for the win here. So big shot here for Hal. First game of the Bonspiel. Drawing for three, drawing for the win. Ian Coulter, Lewis McConey on the brush, and you see Dwayne in the high socks in the house. Managing the house, he puts his hand up, says, "Don't sweep this one." Giving it a good look. He's going to go out and give it a hand. Got to get into the house here to finish up and score three and win, and it looks like Hal's going to have enough. Going to be full 8 foot. That's going to be enough for three. So gives up three, comes back and takes three. Big hitters will take a dramatic 11-10 victory on sheet A. That closes down our first draw of the spring training Bonspiel. So you guys can see a lot of action there on that one. A lot of drama in the end. We're coming back to you in just a matter of moments. It is 10 after 8 now. Our second draw was scheduled for 8:15. Might not get started at 8:15, but we'll see you back here around 8:30, hopefully. Please do join us again, and we will see you shortly.